This week's SoFi breakdown. We're diving into Analyst silence, JP Morgan's sneaky stake, and a chart that's doing the cha-cha between hope and emotional damage. Expect a multi-time frame technical roast, options drama, and enough sarcasm to fill your meme folder. By the end, you'll know why SoFi's chart is the only thing more volatile than your group chat, and you'll have a fresh batch of coping strategies for the next market swing. Welcome back to Fintech Spy, where we analyze, overanalyze, and then roast ourselves for doing both. Not financial advice. Ever. If you're here for actual financial advice, you're in the wrong place, unless your strategy involves emotional damage and caffeine. And if you're new here, don't worry. By the end of this episode, you'll know more about SoFi's chart than most analysts know about their own lunch orders. If you're a returning viewer, congrats. You've officially spent more time with me than your last financial advisor. Grab your coffee, your coping memes, and let's get into it. If you're multitasking, just know that SoFi's chart is the only thing more volatile than your group chat. This week has again been very quiet on the analyst front. No new initiations, no upgrades, no downgrades. Just the sound of analysts quietly updating their spreadsheets and pretending they're not watching the chart every 5 minutes. If you want a hot take, you'll have to settle for someone's uncle on StockTwits. Meanwhile, the only thing more stagnant than analyst coverage is my portfolio. The last time an analyst said something new about SoFi, TikTok was still about dancing. If you see an upgrade, take a screenshot. It might be a collector's item. On the news and filings side, all quiet on the company output front. However, one other company has decided to take a big interest in SoFi. JP Morgan finally disclosed their 5.1% stake in SoFi with 64,981,867 shares as of December 31st. While this doesn't signify Jamie Dimon is going to get up and scream from the microphone to buy, its silent entry is definitely a catalyst that they see massive upside potential. If you're wondering what this means, just remember, when the big banks quietly show up, it's either a sign of confidence or a new way to collect fees. Either way, it's more action than we've seen from SoFi's own PR team all month. Elsewhere, the news cycle is so slow, I'm considering starting a rumor just to see if anyone's paying attention. Maybe SoFi will announce a new partnership with Starbucks, free coffee for every new account. Or maybe they'll just keep quietly building while the rest of us speculate wildly. If you see a headline, take a screenshot. It might be the only one this week. It's chart reading time, and the weekly is still doing the cha-cha slide sideways with a gap down, thanks to the world's fabulous headline, tariffs. The green candle does make it seem that this gap down isn't due to company issues. While the body hasn't filled in, we still have time for that. The RSI is still in that oversold area, hanging out with a picnic basket and a copy of How to Survive Earnings Season. If you're looking for confirmation, just remember, the weekly chart is like your uncle's fishing stories. Sometimes it takes a while to get to the good part, and sometimes you just end up with a soggy boot. The best fake outs start with a little pain, a little hope, and a lot of people yelling at their screens. If you're still holding from last quarter, congratulations, you've unlocked the Diamond Hands achievement. If you sold early, don't worry. There's always next week's regret. On the daily, the great yearly reset is still going strong. We did gap down, but we've had 2 green candles, even though the RSI and MACD are lagging behind. If you're waiting for the daily to confirm, just remember, technical indicators are like horoscopes. Sometimes they're eerily accurate. Sometimes they just tell you what you want to hear. The real trick is not getting whiplash from all the reversals. If you're still holding from the last rally, congratulations. You've unlocked the Diamond Hands achievement. If you sold early, don't worry. There's always next week's regret. On the 4-hour, we're exaggerating the daily chart like a trader explaining their losses to their spouse. What we cannot understand here is even with the lack of green candles, the RSI is overbought and MACD is on its way up. It's almost like a reversal might be on the horizon. Intraday traders, this is your moment. The 4-hour chart is like speed dating for technical analysis. Lots of signals, not a lot of commitment. If you catch the right move, you're a genius. If you miss it, you're just another person yelling at the VWAP. The reversal setup is fragile, but hey, so is my willpower around free donuts. Looking at the January 23rd options chain, the implied move is 63.62% with $1.04 either way. Puts have increased their bets at the $25 strike up to 23,000 contracts. Calls following suit to increase the $28 strike to 20,700. Lots of possibilities, with lots of premium up for grabs. Options traders, this is your playground. The open interest is shifting faster than my attention span during a boring webinar. The $25 put wall is looking beefy, but the $28 call wall is where the real drama is. If we break through, expect fireworks. If we stall, expect memes. Either way, someone's getting emotional damage. If you're new to options, just remember, the only thing riskier than buying weekly calls is explaining to your spouse why you did it. If you're selling puts, congratulations, you're now the proud owner of a new kind of stress. The premium is juicy, but so is the regret if things go sideways. For SoFi traders, the world news has caused us to bleed more, but it might be setting us up so that we can move higher. If you're still here after all the volatility, congratulations, you've got more patience than most. Or maybe you just enjoy the chaos. Either way, respect. If you agree, disagree, or think SoFi is just winding up for the next meme-fueled comeback, drop a comment and we'll spy on it next time. If you think this whole chart looks like emotional damage drawn in candlestick form, tell us your coping strategy below. Coffee, memes, or pretending you're a long-term investor now. If you want to see another ticker roasted, throw it down below and we'll put it under the Fintech Spy microscope. No guarantees on price targets, but we will provide world-class over-analysis and high-quality sarcasm. Like, subscribe, and remember, the only thing we promise is entertainment and a healthy dose of self-awareness. If you're still averaging down, just remember, every dip is a buying opportunity until your account looks like a ski slope.